They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah coming with a vision.
So who are we according to God? I'm going to tell y'all something. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
That's who we are. That was before they put us on slave ships and brought us to America and changed us and renamed us and gave us their good old religion as slaves. When we walked the west coast of Africa, we knew we were the Israelites.
That's right.
We walked around as the Israelites. That's who we were. Now let's prove it. How can we connect the dots of the Bible and prove who we are? Because I know I ain't black.
Right.
I know I ain't African American.
Bring it on.
So who am I and what is my oppressor not teaching me? I went through school. I got great grades. Graduated with a college scholarship. I was good. But no, when they sent me in history class, they taught me about George Washington.
Exactly. Teach.
They taught me about
tell us he was a boy rapist.
No, they didn't tell us a lot. They told us about their heritage. Nobody was teaching me about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and how they tied in my history.
Right.
Nobody told me that Moses was a black man that led the children of Israel out of Egypt.
Bring it on.
As a matter of fact, when I ask Christians today, what is the color of Christ, they tell me it don't matter.
Teach.
But imagine if the slaves that was picking cotton knew that Christ was a black man like them. And not a white man that they was waiting to come save them out of slavery. Let's prove that we are the Israelites.
It's not even white people weren't even born in Israel.
Right.
He couldn't possibly be a white man.
Right. The Caucasian race did not come into Israel until you read about the Ptolemy dynasty. This is during the time of Alexander the Great. You know who Alexander the Great is? That's during the time when they took rule of Israel.
Bring it on.
Prior to that, it was all black people. You had the Israelites fighting against the Philistines, against the Jebusites. Those are African countries.
Teach.
Watch this. Let me prove to y'all that we are the Israelites according to the Bible. Can I do that? Because I can't tell you who you not and let you leave without learning who you are.
That's right.
And it's very important who you are because you are God's chosen people.
Right. That's right.
And Christ is coming back, but he's coming back for us.
Right.
He ain't coming back for all of this nonsense. America will not be established in the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
Ain't gonna be no welfare, no EBT. Ain't gonna be no stand in line to buy a little piece of chicken and hope you got enough coins. Ain't gonna be no factories living paycheck. American society and the kingdom of heaven will not exist together.
Bring it out.
Let me teach you who you are. Watch this. Deuteronomy chapter 28. I'm on verse 15. I need you to read it clear, all right?
All right.
Come on.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Come on.
But it shall come to pass.
Let me paint the picture for y'all. The Israelites have come out of Egypt with Moses. Moses is telling them what is going to happen to them if they don't keep the commandments. You paying attention, man? You listening? You listening? Moses is teaching the Israelites what's going to happen to them. I'm not going to say it's us. I'm going to say it in this context. Moses is teaching the Israelites what would happen to them when they went into slavery, when they left Egypt, if they didn't keep the commandments. I'll say it again. Moses in this chapter is telling the Israelites what would happen to them if they did not keep God's commandments. We're on the same page. All right, come on.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
He said, if you don't listen to the voice of the Lord, go ahead.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
Come on.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day.
Read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
It says that the Israelites would be cursed if they did not keep God's commandments.
That's right.
For the sake of time, they were cursed. You read it in the book of Daniel. You read it all over the Bible. The Israelites never listened to God's commandments.
Break it up.
Even to this day.
Right.
Even to this day. Now, in order to see what would happen to the Israelites, we got to read down because he's going to tell them the curses. Give me verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Listen to what it's saying. It's saying, you Israelites, your sons and daughters are going to be taken from you and given to another people. Go ahead.
And their eyes shall look and bear with longing for them all the day long.
They said, and when you see them being taken, you're going to be sad. But what?
And there shall be no might in thy hand.
When your kids are taken, there will be no might in your hands for it to actually happen. Now, let me ask you something. Who did that happen to? When? No, I'm saying. When was a time in history where a mother and a father could have a child and somebody could literally come and take that child and give them to somebody else?
Take.
That was slavery.
That's right.
That's slavery.
That's facts. Watch this. Read verse 41.
Verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters.
He said, you're going to have sons and daughters. Go ahead.
But thou shalt not enjoy them.
He said, but you won't have time to enjoy them, laugh with them, play with them, run around in the field with them. Why?
First, they shall go into captivity.
Because they're going to be sold as slaves.
That's right.
Now listen, this ain't Moses talking to African Americans. This Moses talking to the Israelites.
Bring it on.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Watch this. Get me your wife.
30.
Verse 30.
Watch this.
Thou shalt betroth a wife.
He said you're gonna get engaged to a wife. Go ahead.
And another man shall lie with her.
And another man gonna come in and have sex with her. When did this happen? In slavery.
That's
yeah, slavery. They took
Slave master could come into the crib at any time and have sex with her.
Teach.
But again, I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about what Moses is telling the Israelites would happen. It just so happened that this prophecy of the Israelites is what we know today as African American history.
Bring it on.
Ain't that weird? How can the Bible predict what we now say is our history?
Teach.
Because the Bible is a real book.
That's right.
Watch this, watch this. Maybe I'm lying, maybe I'm fabricating. How did we get to this side of the earth?
Got to the side of the earth on the boat.
On the boats, right? That's common knowledge. Everybody know that. How did we get over here, young man? Our ancestors, right? We wasn't here at one time, then we got over here. How we get here?
Okay, about the bud, like Mayflower, bro.
By the Mayflower, right? It was a boat. Now let me ask you something. What kind of boat was it? Was it like a luxury carnival cruise line and we had a buffet on that joint?
They had them all in the bottom. I got pictures that I went to the museum.
You went to the museum and saw it. Oh, excellent.
They got the men down there, like what the way that they were.
Packed in like slaves,
Yeah,
right?
naked.
Naked? All of that, all of that. Now watch this. Is that in the Bible?
No.
Is that in the Bible? Read verse 68.
To the book of Deuteronomy.
This is why we have a problem with the Christian church.
That's right.
Because your history is literally sitting inside the book and they will not show it to you.
That's right.
That's why when you see us out here with loudspeakers, you look at us like we strange because you so used to their lies.
Bring it on.
They've been lying. A popular lie is still a lie.
When I pulled up and I heard something you had said, and it was the truth, I said, I gotta go over there
Good.
and listen to them because what you talking about is real.
All praises. Now, I'm going to show you that Moses is going to tell the Israelites that they were going to slavery on slave ships.
Bring it on.
Wow. Watch this. Let's read it. Find me my poster.
Verse 68.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Listen to what it's saying. It's saying God is going to bring you into Egypt again. You know anything about the Bible? What were the Israelites doing in Egypt? Who knows? They were slaves in Egypt.
Slaves.
So when Moses said, I'm going to take you back into Egypt, what would your mind go back to?
Slavery.
I'm going to go back into slavery. Egypt and slavery in the Bible is the same thing. I'm going to prove it. I just want to make sure I articulate it. Come on, Exodus 20 and 2. Stay with me, man. Egypt, when God says, I'm taking you back into Egypt, it's the condition that the people thinking about. Remember, you was just a slave stumping in mud, building bricks all day long. And Moses just took you out. And now he's saying you're going to go back into Egypt. You ain't thinking about the land. You ain't thinking about the house you had, or I'm going to get my old house back. You thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to start building bricks again? I'm going to be a slave again? This is what he's talking about. Watch this. Come on.
To the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the land of Egypt, go ahead.
Out of the house of bondage.
The land of Egypt is synonymous with the house of bondage. It's the same thing. What is bondage? Slavery.
Slavery.
So another name for Egypt is slavery. House of bondage. Go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Who are we according to the Bible? The white man called us black. He called us African American. He called us Negro. He called us niggas. I'm teaching y'all who y'all are according to God. I'm giving you back what they stole from you. They ain't going to teach you this at none of their universities. They ain't going to teach you this in that Christian church that's full of lies and try to take your money out your pocket. But you're going to learn it today from prophets sitting outside of Indie Beauty.
That's right.
Beautiful thing we doing for our people. Come on.
To the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
And the Lord will bring you into Egypt again, meaning into what again? Into slavery again, right? How?
With ships.
How?
With ships.
The Bible says the Lord would take the Israelites into slavery with ships. Cargo slave ships is in the Bible.
They still got slavery going on.
They still got slavery going on. Those are our brothers and sisters too. Remember, they didn't scrape Africa clean when they brought us over here. The Bible says that the Israelites were going to slavery on ships. Now, let's think for a second. Who did this happen to?
Black people.
Black people. Did it happen to Chinese people? Were they loaded up by the tens of millions and put into slave ships and traveled across the world?
Teach.
No. So-called black men and women was on the bottom of these ships, y'all.
That's right.
This is a historical fact. All I'm doing is showing y'all the biblical prophecy behind it.
Bring it out.
Now, who's a liar? Me or these damn pastors, Jeffrey Johnson and all them? Who's the real liars?
You know they liars. They just want some money.
And it gets better, because maybe that ain't what he means. Read it again from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With ships, go ahead.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
He said, just like I'm telling you it's going to happen, go ahead.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Remember, they were coming out of Egypt going to the promised land, right? He said, when you go into slavery on ships, you ain't going to see that land no more again. Now we African Americans.
Right.
Bring it out.
Now we Jamaicans.
Right.
They ain't sent us back to the land that they took from us.
Teach.
Bible prophecy. The Bible is a real book. It's just these Christian pastors is liars. They ain't teaching it right.
That's
because
right.
they ain't supposed to be teaching the Bible.
That's right.
Come on.
And there ye shall be sold unto your
It
enemies.
says he gonna take you into Egypt with ships, and when you get off, you're going to be sold to your enemies.
Right.
Now listen, what happened to those slaves at the bottom of them ships when they got to America, when they got to Brazil, when they got to Jamaica?
They got sold.
Did they get a nice house to be with their wife and kids and start populating the land? They gave them a farm for themselves and they taxed it? No. They got off the boat and was turned into slaves.
Bring it out.
It says, and there ye shall what?
Be sold unto your enemies.
What does that mean? These people still are enemies today.
That's
Right.
An enemy does not shoot a child within 2 seconds of pulling up to a park because he's playing with a toy gun.
right.
An enemy does not go to Tops grocery store and kill 10 black people and write the word nigger on his firearm. That ain't what a friend do.
That's right.
That's what your enemies do.
That's right.
We got to come out these Christian church la-la land when you think that everybody just love black people and they showing us with their actions they don't.
Bring it out.
Why we being so naive? It said, and there you're going to be sold to your enemies for what?
For bondmen
What's a bondman? A slave man. And what?
and born women.
Now you tell me that ain't African American history. Was not so-called black people piled on slave ships like sardines?
Right.
Bring it
When they
on.
got off them slave ships, were they not sold for slave men and slave women?
Teach.
We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word